The India versus South Africa T20I series has been fairly evenly matched so far. 2 games in, and in one match it was India who handed out a thrashing, and in the other it was them who were on the receiving end of a thrashing. Obviously, the format is such that it does lend itself to extreme results propping up every now and again. But there's also a rather interesting theory that Tilak Varma came up with when addressing the media ahead of the third T20I of the series. What is the theory exactly? Well, he believes that the toss has in essence been nullified due to the due factor coming in. But he also spoke about not just the due, but also more importantly, backed a very key tenet of the team management, which of course believes that there should be no set batting order and that everyone batting 3 to 8 should be flexible. Only the openers are fixed. No one else is. We'll take a look at what all exactly it is he had to say. But the first two things which I thought were very, very important was what he had to say on the whole due thing. This is what he had to say. He said that, to be frank, due was an issue in the ODIs too, and we practice accordingly since the toss isn't in our hands. We wet the balls and practice with them. Now, this is something that, of course, has been well known, but there were a lot of questions that came Tilak's way about the due and what it is that can be done. And he simply said that, look, you can't really do anything about it. The best you can do is practice and prepare for the situations because we know that there's going to be an onset of due. And with the winters being the way it is, but it's just always going to be there. It's not something you can avoid. In fact, he believes that the due factor as well as the colder conditions have basically nullified the toss. In fact, it's worth noting that so far both of the games have been won by the team batting first, which is very much in contravention to what we believe is convention. It's believed that if you're in T20I cricket or even in white ball cricket as a whole, ODIs too, you'd prefer being the chasing team since you know what it is you have to target and you can pace your innings accordingly. Yet, so far, both times the games have been won by the team that has defended a total rather than chased. But why exactly is that the case? Well, Tilak had an interesting theory on that. He said that, look, both games have been won by the teams that's batting first. And it's so cold, so there is seam and swing movement available, and batting first or second doesn't matter since due sets in at 7 p.m. only. Now, this is an interesting analysis really when you're looking at it. He said that, look, early on you're getting seam and swing assistance in both innings, and that's making it tough for batters. But the onset of the due and the fact that you're starting the games at around 7 o'clock, saying by that point in time, due is already there. So there's not that much of an advantage for the teams that is batting first vis-a-vis the team that is batting second. And so the toss, in his words, not exactly his words, but paraphrasing, has basically been nullified. Don't forget, the next game is in Dharamshala. So that really could be a true test of these words because there it's going to get really, really cold. We know the hill station town will be much cooler even than the two venues that we've seen previously on this tour. So who knows? You could very well see if the team who wins this game is the team that's batting first. Could be something to this theory. But another theory that has been seen as a bit of a work in progress is India's theory that, look, batting orders are overrated. If you're batting from 3 to 8, you should be willing to bat anyway. And Tilak, in fact, has come out in defense of that tenet, which has been championed by head coach Gautam Gambhir and even skipper Suryakumar Yadav. He said that, look, everyone in the team is flexible to bat anywhere except for the openers. I'm up for batting at 3, 4, 5, 6, wherever it is that the team needs me to play. Now, obviously, I won't expect anything less to be said by Tilak, given he is part of the team and he would, in fact, be wise to not actually go out and say that, no, I want to be batting at 3 or 4. I think those are my best positions. He said, no, I'm willing to bat any which way. In fact, he said that it's not just him who feels this way. It's pretty much every batter who said that they're trying to put the team's needs ahead of their own. He said that, look, no one is focused on possessions. We have seen Axar come to bat at 3 as well. We are only focused on what the team needs, so we are flexible. And again, it is an admirable thought to have. And for all you know, we could yet reach an era in T20 cricket whereby you might very well see batting orders stop being a thing. You could see teams send in players basis situations, and it has happened to an extent. But this Indian team are taking it to the next level where the entirety of the batting order, barring the openers, is fluid. So could it be something that works? Sure. Are there signs of it that is working for the team? Well, not so much. It's been a bit mixed, and truth be told, the sample size that you have hasn't quite led to a situation where you can definitely advocate for this and say, no, that this is exactly what works. But again, it's a work in progress, and the team are clearly on board with what it is that is trying to be done. And they're saying, look, team first, individual second, admirable. Sure, whether or not it's successful, that's something that only time will tell. But you can let us know in the comments if you're looking forward to the third T20 and whether or not you agree with Tilak's takes in the PC. And don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.